back to History Snippets. Well, as you know, it's time for Christmas. And around here, Mrs. Edwards is reading The Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. At the end of the novel, Bob Cratchit is offered a cup of steaming bishop from Ebenezer Scrooge. And it's basically mulled wine. Mulled means to heat. So that's basically what we're going to make today, a heated wine. First, we need a whole bottle of wine. Add some Cointreau, some zest of an orange, lemon peel, 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar, 2 sticks of cinnamon, 4 anise, 4 cloves. Yum. Let's stir this now. While we're stirring, we can add the juice of 2 oranges. You cook it for an hour and a half in the crock pot. Do not let it boil. When you're finished, you put it in a pretty punch bowl, or you can leave it in this to keep it warm, and you add slices of oranges on the top. Earlier, we talked about a smoking bishop that is mentioned at the end of the novel of A Christmas Carol. Well, I thought we should make one. This drink represents class, it represents politics, and it represents religion, which is something that I was amazed that one drink can do. At the time that Christmas Carol was written, the French and the English were having an economic war, and because of that, the cost of wine went way up. So the merchants of England decided that they would travel down the coastline and see what they could find. And finally, they found in Portugal that they would sell them inexpensive port. And so port became a symbol of the middle class in England. There were jokes abound in England, and these drinks were the jokes. And the jokes were known as ecclesiastics. There was a Pope drink. There was another drink called the Church Warden. And drinking a smoking bishop carried the same weight. It was both Protestant and anti-Catholic. And the other reason that makes it a smoking bishop is that they drank these drinks out of something that looked like a bishop's mitre. In a minute, we'll have it smoked so that we will have the full title here, except we don't have a mitre to drink it out of. As far as class is concerned, obviously the middle class now represents port, and Bob Cratchit represented the poor. Now, he would have drunk something like a gin punch, which was very, very cheap. But since Ebenezer Scrooge has become a wealthy merchant, he's going to offer the smoking bishop. So that's how it represents the middle class. Let's make our smoking bishop. And believe me, it is a complicated drink. It is not something that's going to just pop up like the mulled wine did. You first start out with 5 oranges, 2 lemons, 30 whole cloves, a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and allspice and mace. 1 thumb-sized fresh ginger, 1 bottle of red wine, a 1/2 cup of sugar, and finally a bottle of ruby port. So preheat your oven to 300 degrees. Take 5 of the oranges and stick the cloves in them, and also 1 of the lemons. And you put all of this in the oven for 75 minutes. After 75 minutes, then you're going to make the liquid. Combine water with the spices, you bring it to a boil, you reduce it by half, and then you pour the bottle of wine into the saucepan, bring it into a boil, and simmer it, add your sugar, and after about 10 minutes it should be done. Then you combine the 2 liquids. So now you pour the liquid on the oranges and the lemons, put them in the oven. Now the oven is not on, and it must stay in there for, the recipe said, 24 hours. Then we take it out, and we're going to take the oranges and the lemon out. We're going to cut them in half. We're going to squeeze them, all the juice. So I poured the liquid. I need to add an entire bottle of port, and you don't want to let it boil. So the next step is to put it in the punch bowl. So I'm going to place it. Oh, it's smoking bishop. To make it pretty, we're going to take some slices of orange. Now we are ready to serve our smoking bishop. Well, cheers to one and all, and to Bob Cratchit and Ebenezer Scrooge. So remember, keep looking at snippets of history. Recipes will be at the end of our tape. Merry Christmas!